Hey guys, now while Brian's back at the shop doing some real work on that 66 Nova, we're over here at United Speed World having a little fun with the dyno. Now, this is Junior. Junior's been taking care of us as far as the engine side goes. We've got a small block Chevy 350, pretty mild build, but as you can see it's starting to do pretty well on the dyno. And if I'm looking here at 5500, we're still climbing on power, so if we just stretch it out a little bit, I'm thinking we might break 400 on a nice little street rod like this.
You got it.
Now we got a cool fuel injection system. We're going to take the carburetor off. We're going to show you how easy EFI can be. So come on in here and we'll show you some cool stuff. Carburetors are great. They're a real simple device, but they're somewhat crude. They get the job done. You can bolt one on. You can get yourself down the road. But EFI adds a lot of refinement. Things like cold start. Being able to go from low altitude to high altitude. Having your tune adjust with the engine and the conditions that you're driving in. Well, to make things easy, Fast came out with their EZ-EFI. Now what makes this thing so great is you can see this throttle body here starting to look like a carburetor as far as its fit and finish, but it's got everything on it self-contained for fuel injection. You've got twin fuel rails, twin injectors on both sides. You've got idle air control, so it'll bump your idle up and down as needed. But your throttle linkage looks just like your carburetor. So you can literally unbolt your old carburetor, bolt this guy right on. Everything you need, all the standard inputs and outputs. You got a map sensor, more injectors, air temp, and throttle position. Everything you need is basically put right in this unit. You bolt it on and you're set. The only additions you need to do is add an O2. This gives it feedback. Tells the computer what's actually getting burned, what's leftover fuel or what's too lean, and it'll adjust itself. Now on top of that, you add basically a water temp sense, and that tells the engine, well, it tells the computer what the engine's doing as far as temperature, and that's it. Everything else is done right here in this little brain. The nice thing about this, it'll tune itself. So once it's running, it's getting constant feedback. There's a little guy in here with a calculator, and he's doing a lot of calculations, 1 billion per second or whatever it is, and he's dialing everything in, making it run better and better. Each time you go around the block, each time you do a power run, and all the conditions that you drive in, it's going to correct. Now where do you get started? This is your interface. It's really simple. It's got a nice graphic display, and all you do is tell it a few basics about the engine. What size it is, displacement, what idle speed you want to run at. It goes ahead and puts in a pre-program to get you started right off the bat. So you can just go and turn the key on and fire the engine up. Each time you go around the block, it's going to get smarter. Now this is nice because you can go through and you can scroll and you can monitor everything that's going on. So you can check each of your sensors. It's got its own diagnostics, which is great. And if you get in any kind of problem, it'll go into a limp home mode, just like you do on an OEM car. So let's say O2 sensor goes bad or wire gets chafed or broken. Well, it's going to go back to its basic memory, and it's going to give you a safe tune or calibration to get you home so you can figure out what's wrong with it. It's a bolt-on kit that you don't need a PhD degree and you don't need a laptop. So let's get this thing on, let's get it running, let's see how it does. Now, this is a 4150 style throttle body, which holds up to 600 horsepower. But if you're building something a little bit bigger than that, you can buy a second unit, run like a dual tunnel ram. Now you got 1200 horsepower capable. The brain's already ready. You just tell it what you're running. It's good to go. And now you're screaming down the road with some pretty monster power. We're going to do another dyno pull. We've done a couple already, and each time this engine is self-tuning itself and dialing itself in. Air-fuel ratio is coming in real nice and tight. It's starting to get real close to that carburetor setup.
Get closer and closer every time, so we'll do it again and see what we can get.
Now you're going to put a load basically via the computer on that dyno cell.
That's
it's going to control as we ramp this engine up and give it full throttle.
Yes, sir.
So let's give it one more try. Here's our range right here we're reading. Nice clean pull. We'll spit it out and we'll check out the results. Nice, 390 horsepower. right where we were at before with the carburetor, and we haven't done a thing. That's the easiest fuel injection system I've ever worked on.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more easy than that. Take it out of the box and bolt it on and you're ready to go.
So stick around, maybe we'll see that thing in the car here soon. Next thing up, we'll get some speakers and start cutting our holes out, mount our stereo, maybe get that display mounted in the front.
Get the engine back in with the new fuel injection.
The new EFI, it's gonna make this baby run sweet.
That looked like a pretty cool setup.
Yeah, you know what? It was probably one of the easiest setups I've ever done too.
Fast. That's
Fast,
the way we like
fast,
it.
Fast.
All right, that's it for today. We got to roll. Thanks for watching Two Guys Garage.
All right, see you next time.
All right, let's get back into this baby, right? Hold in now, wait.